Hey, this is Larry Joe with Guitars and Cards. Today I have my Kramer Dave Mustaine in Alien Tech Green, I think it is. I remember one of the guys made a comment saying, hey Larry Joe, are you going to get one of these? And I remember saying that they're made in China, which it is, and they're like $12.99 in the United States, so $12.99 is just beyond what I could do. But I have it right here, and this isn't a loaner, this is mine, and soon enough I will be changing out the pickups and putting in my EMG 81s and 85s, or actually the next 60 is good too. But I'll be making it my own by doing that, and it'll go into my personal collection. But let's go over exactly the status of this guitar, more than just the aesthetics and all the specs and everything. Okay, obviously this is a Dean, I see it's tough to get away from the Deans, you know, right there. Anyways, but obviously this is a Kramer, and this lists for $12.99, and they have the Epiphone, but it doesn't have these wings like this, like his, you know, the Jacksons or the Deans. The Epiphone and the Gibson doesn't have that. It's got like a Gibson V that have the big thick ones, except for it almost looks like it's stretched for the Epiphone and the Gibson. And I think only the Gibson has like a greenish, but I don't like that color that much. And the Epiphone is like, I think it's $5.99, and the Gibson green one I think is limited supply, like $4 grand, whatever. Anyways, I would never be able to do any of that, so that's not even close to an option. So let's go into this guitar. Like I said, as a symbol for itself. And by the way, I got Megadeth, so anyways, okay, you got this. This is my Jackson King V Pro Custom, which I did a video on. It's made in the USA. It's a beautiful guitar. Originally, Randy Rhoads had Jackson do the V, or he liked the one of the V's that they had, and that was the Randy Rhoads V. And then Robbin Crosby from Ratt liked that style, but wanted it like a double Rhoads with bigger fins, and he named it, or they named it after him because he's so tall. Well, he was so tall. They named it the King V after him. Now, Megadeth was coming on the scene from leaving, Dave leaving Metallica, of course, you know all this stuff. And they chose Dave, and Dave liked the V. They cut down the fins from the double Rhoads. They cut down the fins to what it is now. And then he was with them for a very long time. In fact, his had a Kaler tremolo system on it. I had the Kelly one, the Marty Friedman, and I'll tell you what, I hated the Kaler. It was not a tremolo, it was just a Kaler piece. I think Jackson just bought a ton of them and just wanted to stick them on some V's, I don't know. Anyways, he had it until the early 2000s, and then I think he tried to buy the company, and they wouldn't sell to him. And I remember that time, and he had hurt his hand and everything. And then he started coming back, and doing better, and then he signed with ESP LTD. I do not have any of those guitars. The Sunrise finish one I thought was kind of cool with the 8-ball right there above the first fret. I thought that was really cool, but I wasn't really interested in it, so I wasn't like jumping on the bandwagon. I did have this at the time, but I wasn't jumping too much, and then he wasn't happy for whatever reason. I don't want to go into details. You guys can find that stuff if you want. And then he went with Dean and came up with this line. In fact, this is the Angel of Death. It's not my favorite Dave Mustaine guitar, but yeah, I picked it out pretty quickly from my closet. So it's a nice guitar. It's beautiful. This is made in Korea. I put EMGs on it. I'm pretty sure I did that video that has all of these. Anyway, so he liked Dean so much, he stayed with them for a while. In fact, his guitar tech, there's a video of his on Guitar Tech saying that these Korean ones were so good that Dave played them on tour a lot. And it came with the Blackout Dean, or the Seymour Duncan Blackout Dave Mustaine pickups. Of course, I took those out and put these EMGs in it, and you know, that's great. But when he first went to them, these things were so expensive, I couldn't even consider it. And then years later, I started looking into it, and they actually was a pretty good price. I think I paid like $500 or $600 for this with a nice case. So it was a good deal. Now this is probably worth like $1,100, $1,200. I don't know. That's pretty good of a return, I think. Not as good as stocks, but for guitars, that's pretty good. Anyways, and then, as you know, he left them, and like I said, he went with Gibson. Gibson owns Epiphone, and Gibson owns Kramer now. So when I saw the Gibson on there out there for like $2-3 grand, I'm like, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna save that much money, and then maybe it's not so great, because anybody that knows Gibson within the last 5 years is like, yeah, that's a great name all these years, right? But their quality and customer service has not been that good, so I wasn't going to touch it. When I saw the Epiphone for $15.99, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to touch that either. And it had the, like I said, elongated Gibson Flying V fins. I didn't like that at all. And then this one came out, and I saw it was $12.99, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And like I said earlier, some guy hit me up with a comment on when I did the Dave Mustaine ones, and said, hey, are you going to get one of the new Kramers? And I sent it, like I said $12.99, and it's made in China. Not going to do it. So that brings me to this. About a month and a half ago, I was on a yellow guitar run. I was wanting a yellow guitar. I was looking for a Kelly, and I found one for a good price. That's the X model, just like I have the Jackson Warrior. It was a Jackson Kelly, and it was yellow, and it was a good price. It was like $550, and I was like, that's not bad. And I tried to get it lower. I called the guy and said, hey, what about this? What about this? They're like, nah, this is going to sell. We can't really lower it. And it was used, but they wouldn't go down. And I said, okay, I'll just wait and see if it goes down. And then they all sold. And then that one sold. And then I didn't have any yellow one. And then I like the Ibanez's too, and I know they make a desert yellow, so I got a 350. I got a 350 that was yellow, desert yellow, and it had it was just a normal Ibanez RG. I think it was a 350, like I said, but it had the tremolo system like what's on my other Ibanez, the Edge 02, which is a solid tremolo system. But some guy got it at the same time as me when I ordered it online, so boom, that's gone. And so I started looking for guitars again, yellow, and I was like, you know what, let's consider green too, because I don't have any green guitars, I don't have any yellow guitars, so what the heck. And then I started going through Jackson on Guitar Center. That's where I'm always looking, on Guitar Center. Anyways, and I saw, the cheapest I saw was a King V, KVX, or KVSMG, I think. anyways, it was like $670, and it had the green. They had the green paint on it, and I was like, that's interesting. And I clicked on it, and I was like, it's like $680 or whatever it is. And I'm like, that's a tough pull right now. But I just had a little bit of money back from that, getting that yellow guitar, but I'm like, I don't know if I could pull it. And I was like, okay, what's the specs of this thing? Is it similar to the Kramer one? The Kramer Dave Mustaine that I got right here. So I clicked Guitar Center, I did a little check on it, and this one came up, $899. And I'm like, huh. And it said no case. And I'm like, the case is kind of a thing, but you know, and then I saw that it had this. You see that giant missing paint right there? There it is. So I'm like, $899's tough to grab, you know, and I called him. And I said, hey, is there anything you can do? Because it's got that ding, it's missing the case. The case is like $200, and the ding takes it down easily $100. He's like, well, we reduced it enough at $899. There's nothing we could do. And I'm like, okay. And I contemplated it for a couple days, and then I looked around, and I couldn't find any used ones of this guitar. So I'm like, you know what? I was selling cards. I sell cards on eBay, just like cards and guitars. And I thought to myself, the chances of finding this used again are probably pretty slim, because I couldn't find it, especially for $899. So I was like, you know what, let's get it. And I got it, and I like Guitar Center, and like I said, I can talk to them and try to work deals sometimes, but they packed it in a box, and they did a terrible job. I'm surprised this fin isn't damaged too, the way they packed it. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, of course it's there, and I was afraid that there was more to it, and there's a little spot there. Anyways, also, if you look, I guess the guitarist that had it before changed out the bolts that go over the pots. In fact, it looks like it's small, medium, large. Maybe that signifies something for him. I don't know. I'm going to change it all out anyways. It's got the, let's see, here's the specs for it. It's a mahogany body with a set mahogany neck, and you can see it says handcrafted in China. Let me see if I can get that in there. Handcrafted in China. Don't know what that exactly means, handcrafted in China. Anyways, okay, it's got a ebony fingerboard with the dots, just dots, no little shark tooth or the funky shark tooth with the dots. Just that. It's adjustable bridge, string through. You can see the back. It's got his signature Dave Mustaine Seymour Duncan Thrashmaster, whatever it is. I think it's a modified SH4. It sounds like it. And then you have a SH1 in the neck that's not specifically to him. You can see it. The bridge pickup says the Dave Mustaine. It's got a master, just like all of his. Oh, not that one, but that one. The Dean. It's got the neck volume, bridge volume, and master tone, and then you got the three-way switch. And it's in black. You can see it says Kramer right there, and it's got the little truss rod cover. It says Dave Mustaine. You can see the back. It's 2022. It's got his little guy playing the V guitar, and it's a 2022 model. One thing it doesn't have that the Dean does, it doesn't have his Dunlops that he always uses, that he likes. The Dunlop strap locks, it does not have this. These are the basic ones that come out of the, out of the factories. The cool thing is, it's the jack is here on the upper horn, so it gets out of the way when you're sitting there. It's not down here, and it's not going to interfere. One of the things, too, I wanted to mention, that Thrashmaster by Seymour Duncan is not like the Blackouts. it does not have a battery that powers it. That's a passive pickup. In fact, you can see that, and this is a normal, this is the normal cover for the electronics cavity, and you have no battery box like this one has, and all of those, because they had the active pickups. So when I change out EMG 81s, and I'm going to, I got to put I have a little bit of space in there to put that the battery, because that takes up space. And also, and I mentioned this in one of my comments, one guy asked how I did one of the guitars, like the Jackson Warrior. What I'm going to do here, this is a two prong input jack. EMG uses the 3-prong input jack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave those cables in there, solder off the jack, and then I'm going to run a cable. And usually with those other ones, it usually comes through here, right under the bridge pickup, and then goes into the electronics cavity. So what I'm going to do is leave those two there, and then I'm going to run one cable in, and then attach it to the quick connects with soldering iron, and I'm going to use a heat shrink to fix it. Now, like I said, I got new pots, and I'm going to stick an EMG 81 and an 85 I already have set aside for this. And I'll reuse the 3-way switch, but I'll play through it just to let you hear. I have my Vox, my VT30 that I love. I'm not running through the little Spark right now. It's in the other room. I just didn't want to grab it. But here's a little bit. I'll go through the sound a little bit, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay. Purists will be like, nah, it's not exactly the way. That's fine. I'm my player, so I play my stuff, and I really don't like playing other people's stuff too much. However, since it's a Dave Mustaine, I figured I'd play Symphony. That's a bridge pickup. It's missing a little bit of what I like, a little bit, because it's not an EMG. I don't know, just the EMGs just kick for me. So yeah, let's go to the middle. All right, and you can tune it down with the volume, since the volume works for both when you're in the middle. And that pickup is actually pretty good for it. So I'll throw something else on. to the neck. That's the SH1 by Seymour Duncan. This thing really should have come with locking tuners, if you ask me, but I guess he doesn't like locking tuners. But if you have an adjustable bridge, you really should put locking tuners on it. Enough. I can't take it anymore without having a song to go through, so let's crank it back to the way it should be. Drop it down a little. I like that sound. Okay, so for me, it's got to have the EMG in it. I'm fighting it. It may look like I'm not fighting it, but I'm telling you, I am fighting it. Not playing it feels pretty good. I dropped when I first got it, the bridge was way too stinking high. I dropped it down. It feels a little bit better, but it feels like it needs to go a little bit lower. But EMGs, I believe, will make this sing like crazy. I'm overdue on follow-up for some of the guitars that I did reviews on, but I'll tell you my direct. This is what I think about this guitar. No company has given me this guitar or paid me to say anything good or bad about this guitar. It looks beautiful. It looks perfect. It looks fantastic. I love the green. That's one of the reasons why I decided to spend this much money, because the chance of getting this again, especially with this green, I didn't think it was very easy. So I bought this guitar, and I know I'm going to change out the pickups, so it'll be a little bit better than what it is now. I'm not fighting playing it, but I'm fighting because some of the notes should be lasting longer, and the gain, I don't know, the saturation of it, whatever it is, it just feels better and sounds better with the EMG. So I'm going to change it, but that's not this guitar's fault. This guitar's fault is not that it doesn't sound the way I want. It doesn't sound the way I want because that's what he wants, and that's how he plays it, and that's great. But I'm gonna mod it to how I want. But I'll tell you this. Like I said, nobody pays me to say anything, so I'm going to say this. This will go into my personal collection because the chance of me finding another one for this price anytime soon, even with the ding and missing the case, it's very low. The chances are very low. So I'm going to put it in my collection once I put on my EMGs. I'll do a follow-up video sometime. But for $12.99, I think this is a mistake. I think that for $12.99, $1,300, you should be able to get a little bit better than this guitar. And a lot of people are not going to enjoy that. Okay? But I'm telling you, if you're paying $1,300, this is not worth $1,300. It doesn't feel like it's worth $1,300. Changing the EMGs out is not going to make it sound like a $1,300 guitar. I paid $650 for this. Yes, I paid $650 for this like 5 or 6 years ago, and I put EMGs, and this is made in Korea. This is a fantastic guitar, and this is the lower one in my Dave Mustaines. This is the lower one, but it still sounds amazing. Whether it's with that or not, it plays good, it plays fantastic. It's worth probably about 11, like I said, 11 or 1200 now, just because he went to Gibson, and it plays great. And I wouldn't mind spending $1,200 on this. If I really wanted this guitar, I wouldn't feel bad about it. It's made in Korea, it's beautiful. This is not worth $1,200 or $1,300. I'm sorry, I reviewed other guitars that cost as much as this or more used. I try to get them used. So $8.99 without a case and that ding, it's stretching it. It's stretching it by a lot. But you're not going to find this for this price, just because right now everybody's going crazy to get these things because of the color. And it looks gorgeous, but it doesn't play as much as that guitar, as good as that guitar. And it'll never even touch that one. That one's a 93. That one's amazing. Custom. That's the top of the line of everything in my eyes. Anyways, it's not worth $1,300. And it's questionable if it's worth the $900 that I paid for it, especially without the case. Anyways, but if you can get them used, which is what I say, or B stock, if you can get this in about a year or so, if you want this guitar and you can wait, I would wait a year from now, and then see what the secondhand or B stocks out there, the Reverb, the Guitar Center used, eBay, whatever, if you can find a good price on this. I would say maybe $700, because of the paint job is acceptable, I think, because it's hard to find, but I don't know if you're going to be able to find it for $700 in a year. I don't know, it's questionable, but for me, it's pretty good, but it definitely doesn't warrant the price. Like I said, I can't get another one right now, so I'll throw my EMGs, and then it'll be part of my personal collection, and I'll do a review again. Maybe it'll play better with the EMGs, and I'll have a better feeling about it, but I've had this for about a week now. I've been waiting on this video before I can do my, before I can change it out. I want to do this review. So, like I said, for $13, it's not worth it. Whatever you can get this used, try to get it used wherever you can in about a year. Anyways, that's my 5 cents on this, and nobody paid me to say one thing or the other, good or bad. Anyways, I'm Larry Joe. If you want to subscribe, that's cool, but I'm not pushing you. I got a small little channel, and some guys respond, some guys give me comments. I always thumbs up it, and I always heart it, and I always leave a reply. I always do, because usually some of the questions are kind of interesting, so I'm like answering, and I'm like, it's interesting, you know. Anyway, so if you like real reviews and cool guitars, check me out, you know, check out my other videos. I have this will be 32. I actually have 2 more videos in my phone that I need to upload, but I wanted to get this first. And I have that Ibanez yellow guitar that I want to do a review. That'll be my next one, I think, unless I upload those other videos. But yeah, look for that. I didn't want to bring it out here because I wanted to do some comparisons, not playable comparisons, but where Dave went from this to that, you know, and to this. So anyways, if you like what you hear, subscribe, leave a comment, please. If you leave a thumbs down, tell me why. Hey, I can take criticism. I can take criticism too. Anyways, and just tell me how you feel with the comment. I beg for your comments. I really do. I beg for them. Please let me know what you think. And I'll try playing this out. Maybe this Bluetooth might work. I'm not for sure. But I'm Larry Joe, and thank you for your time, and have a good night. Or day, for that matter. Who knows?